I want you to think about a part of your life you're not proud of. Maybe it's a habit of self-sabotage. You finally get that big opportunity, and you find yourself procrastinating, showing up late, or making silly mistakes until it's gone. Maybe it's a feeling of being a fraud. You have the nice job, the good relationship, the successful life, but you have this secret, knowing feeling that you're just acting, and that any second, someone's going to find out you're not the good, kind, or capable person you pretend to be. Or maybe it's a sudden, shocking reaction you have, a flash of intense rage in traffic, a deep, irrational hatred for a certain type of person, a moment of biting, cynical jealousy that makes you think, where in the world did that come from? That's not me. But what if it is you? What if that not me part of you, that angry, selfish, lazy, insecure, jealous, and chaotic part, is actually the most important, ignored, and powerful part of your entire psyche? The pioneering Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung had a name for this. He called it the shadow, and he argued that our main task in life, the real work of becoming a mature, whole, and authentic adult, is not to destroy this part of ourselves, but to face it. Today, we're going to talk about exactly how to do that. This isn't just a theory video. This is a practical guide. This is shadow work. We're going to cover 3 main ideas. 1, what is the shadow, and why is it full of gold? 2, how does the shadow control your life? The symptoms, projection, and self-sabotage. 3, how do you actually face it? A 3-step practical guide to begin. This is the bravest journey a person can take. And if you're feeling stuck, empty, or inauthentic, it is the only journey that will set you free. Part 1. What is the shadow, and why is it full of gold? To understand how to face the shadow, we first have to know what it is. Imagine you were born as a complete, whole person. You are a 360-degree circle of human potential. You contain everything: kindness, generosity, anger, selfishness, creativity, laziness, courage, and fear. You're all of it. But then you start to get civilized. Your parents, your teachers, your first friends, your culture, they start giving you feedback. When you're kind and sharing, you get a smile. You get good girl, good boy. When you're angry or selfish or too loud or too sensitive, you get a frown. You get punished. You get stopped at. Don't be selfish. Big kids don't cry. You learn very quickly that to be loved and to be safe, you have to choose which parts of you are acceptable. You start to split yourself in 2. On one side, you build your persona. This is your good self. This is your social mask. It's the you that is polite, capable, agreeable, and successful. It's the you want the world to see. It's your Instagram profile. On the other side, you create the shadow. The shadow is the metaphorical backpack you've been carrying your whole life. And into that backpack, you have shoved every single part of yourself that you deemed unacceptable. You threw your anger in there. You threw your shameful fantasies in there. You threw your vulnerability, your selfishness, your weird creative impulses, your rage, and your grief. Your persona is built on the rejection of shadow. Your identity as a good person depends on the lie that I am not those things. And for the first part of your life, this system works. You build a career, you make friends, you function in society. But there's a problem. That backpack gets heavy. And after decades, the zipper is starting to break. The shadow is no longer willing to be ignored. It starts to leak out, to take over, to sabotage you. But here is the most crucial, life-changing idea in all of Jung's work. The shadow is not just bad stuff. In your rush to be good and acceptable, you didn't just throw your demons in a bag. You also threw your gold. Maybe as a child, you were a wild, loud, vibrant, creative artist, but you were told to be serious and get a real job. So you locked your creativity and vitality in the shadow. Maybe you were a powerful, ambitious, and bossy little girl, but you were told to be nice and quiet. So you locked your power and ambition in the shadow. Maybe you were a deeply sensitive and vulnerable boy, but you were told to toughen up. So you locked your vulnerability and your capacity for deep connection in the shadow. Maybe you were a deeply sensitive and vulnerable boy, but you were told to toughen up. So, you locked your vulnerability and your capacity for deep connection in the shadow. Your shadow doesn't just hold your darkness, it holds your power. It holds your unlived life. It holds your authenticity. This is why we must face it, not to get rid of the bad parts, but to reclaim the gold you've been missing. The reason you feel so empty and inauthentic is that you are living a half-life. You are a 2D mask, while your 3D, golden, authentic self is locked in the back. The journey of shadow work is the journey of stopping, turning around, and finally, bravely, unzipping the backpack. Part 2. How the shadow controls you when you don't face it. When you ignore the shadow, it doesn't go away. It just stops being your shadow and starts being its own entity. It controls you from behind. It does this in two main ways. 1. Projection, the mirror. This is the most common and important symptom. When you have a part of yourself that you refuse to see, your mind has a very clever trick. It makes you see that trait everywhere else. This is projection. You literally project your own sown shadow onto other people. This is the source of all your irrational and intense emotional triggers. You, a hyper-disciplined workaholic, find yourself consumed with rage for your lazy coworker. You can't stand them. Their laziness is an offense to you. The truth, your shadow is full of your own desperate longing for rest. You have so violently repressed your own need to be lazy that seeing someone else live it out feels like a personal attack. You're projecting. You, a humble, quiet person who hates the spotlight, feel disgusted by that arrogant, attention-seeking person on social media. The truth, your shadow is full of your own disowned power and your desire to be seen. You've been playing small for so long it seems someone else take up space triggers the part of you that you starve. You, a nice, agreeable person, feel intense judgment for your friend who is selfish and sets too many boundaries. The truth, your shadow is full of your own unmet needs. You are desperate to be selfish for a change, but your nice person persona won't let you. Jung said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." The people who trigger you the most are not your enemies. They're your messengers. They are mirrors, showing you exactly what's in your shadow. If you don't face your shadow, you will spend your entire life fighting a war with the world, when the real war is inside you. 2. Self-sabotage, the mutiny. The second way the shadow controls you is by hijacking your life. This is what self-sabotage is. It is not a weakness or a character flaw. Self-sabotage is a mutiny when you live too long as a one-sided persona. Your shadow rebels. It says, "I'm not going to be ignored anymore." Your perfect student persona says, "We must study for 8 hours straight. We must be perfect." Your shadow, which holds your need for play and rest, says, "Oh yeah, watch this." And it hijacks your brain. Suddenly, you've lost 3 hours to lazily scrolling on your phone. You have no idea how it happened. That wasn't laziness. That was a mutiny. Your shadow forced you to rest because you wouldn't choose to. Your perfectly healthy persona says, "We will eat nothing but salad. We must be disciplined." Your shadow, which holds your raw desire for pleasure, says, "Not on my watch." And it hijacks you, and suddenly you've eaten an entire pint of ice cream. That wasn't a failure of willpower. That was your shadow demanding pleasure because you had started. We then wake up the next day and hate ourselves. "I'm so lazy. I have no discipline." And we double down on the persona, which just makes the shadow stronger. It's a civil war, and you are losing. The only way to win this war is to stop fighting. You must turn around, face the rebel leader, your shadow, and negotiate. This is shadow work. Part 3. A 3-step practical guide to shadow work. This is not easy. This is the bravest work you will ever do. It requires radical, uncomfortable honesty, but it is the only way to become whole. Here is how you start. Step 1. Hunt your projections, the trigger journal. This is where you start. You must become a detective of your own triggers. Get a journal. This is your shadow journal. Your homework is to catch your triggers in real time. Anytime you feel hot, 10 out of 10 emotional reaction, anger, rage, disgust, envy, judgment, irritation. Stop. Pull out your journal and write down the answers to these 3 questions. 1. What exactly is the trait in this person that is triggering me? Be specific. Their arrogance, their laziness, their fakeness, their stupidity. 2. Where in my life do I do this exact same thing? This is the direct mirror. Be honest. Maybe you're not lazy at work, but are you lazy in your relationships? Are you lazy with your health? Find it. 3. If I really can't find it, where in my life do I need this trait? This is the reverse mirror, the gold. Am I so humble that I need a little of their arrogance to ask for a raise? Am I so disciplined that I need a little of their laziness to avoid burning out? Am I so nice that I need a little of their selfishness to finally set a boundary? This practice is humbling. It turns your finger of judgment from out there to in here. You stop being a victim of the world, and you become a student of yourself. Step 2. Decode your self-sabotage, the curious ally. Your self-sabotage is not your enemy. It is a messenger in a clumsy disguise. Your new job is not to judge your bad habits, but to get curious about them. The next time you find yourself in your shameful pattern, procrastinating, binging, scrolling, etc., I want you to ask these 2 questions. What gold is this behavior giving me? What is this 3-hour phone scroll giving me? It's giving me a moment to rest. It's giving me a break from the crushing pressure to be productive. What is this binge eating giving me? It's giving me 10 minutes of pure pleasure and comfort in a life that feels sterile and hard. What is this behavior protecting me from? What is this procrastination protecting me from? It's protecting me from the fear of failure. If I don't try my hardest and I fail, I can blame the procrastination, not my ability. Once you have the answer, you can integrate the need. If your shadow is sabotaging you to get rest, then schedule rest. Put 1 hour of guilt-free laziness in your calendar. If your shadow is sabotaging you to get pleasure, then schedule real, healthy pleasure. When you give the shadow what it needs, the gold, it no longer has to sabotage you to get it. The mutiny is over. You are working together. Step 3. Listen to your dreams, the nightly messenger. When you're awake, your persona is the guard at the gate. When you're asleep, the guard leaves, and a shadow comes out to talk. Jung called dreams the royal road to the unconscious. Keep a dream journal by your bed. The moment you wake up, write down anything you remember. Feelings, images, characters. Look for a shadow figure. This is a recurring character in your dreams, often the same sex as you, who is scary or beneath you, or is the opposite of your persona. If you're a nice person, your shadow figure might be a violent criminal. If you're a rational person, it might be a crazy or primitive character. Your instinct in the dream is to run away from it or fight it. Your shadow work is to do the opposite. In your journal, you can do this. You can write it out like a script. Talk to that frightening figure. Ask it, who are you? What do you want? What message do you have for me? You'll be stunned by the answers that come from your own mind. That violent criminal might say, I am your anger. I am here because you let your boss humiliate you yesterday, and you just sat there and smiled. You need me to protect you. You're not becoming a criminal. You are reclaiming the gold that the criminal represents. Your healthy anger, your boundaries, your power to say no. You're integrating. The goal, wholeness, not perfection. This work is not about getting rid of your shadow. That's what you've been doing your whole life, and it's what's making you miserable. You cannot destroy your shadow. You can only integrate it. The goal is not perfection. The goal is wholeness. A perfect person is a half person. They're just a mask. A whole person is real. A whole person has access to their anger and knows when to use it. A whole person has access to their vulnerability and knows when to share it. A whole person has access to their selfish needs and knows how to meet them without destroying the relationships. When you do this work, you stop projecting. You stop judging. You stop sabotaging. The emptiness you feel disappears. And it's not because you added something to your life. It's because you reclaimed the half of yourself that you've been abandoning for decades. You get your goal back. You get your energy back. You get your life back. You stop performing your life, and you finally start living it. This is the bravest work there is. It's the journey from being a good person to being a real person. It's the journey home. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for being brave enough to listen. If this video resonated with you, if you feel that click of recognition, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe for more deep, practical guides to your own mind. And now, I want to hear from you. This is a brave community. Go down to the comments and let me know, what is one shadow trait in yourself or one projection you have that you're just starting to get curious about? You're not alone in this. Be kind to yourself, be curious, and be brave. I'll see you in the next one.